Alright, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for A Place Further Than the Universe, Episode 7.
Alright.
Oh, I love this show.
They found Hinata's passport.
Yes, they have.
Shirase's bag. The durian has been eaten. We're pretty sure. Yeah.
Yes,
now,
at the very least, they tasted it.
Right.
I will tell you, that's more than I had the balls to do.
Yeah.
But these were being forced by some
That's right. They're friends for the
some peer pressure,
immense amount of panicking that they caused.
By this whole situation,
this whole fiasco.
But now they're going to be leaving Australia. They're going to Antarctica.
Yeah. We're going to get to see the penguin.
The penguins!
Yeah.
Ow. I just stretched my jaw way too much. Ow. But anyways, penguins!
Yeah.
Penguins are awesome! And we're going to get to see...
seasickness and...
Well, more so, we're going to get to see them realizing their journey. This is going to be what Shirase was waiting for. And with, Yuzuki and, is it Kamari? Yeah, Kamari.
Yeah.
Them all kind of being like, wow, this is
happening.
This is happening.
Yep.
And, it's actually possible to go after something and,
Right, even if it seems so outlandish and impossible at the beginning. Yep.
Yeah. But they're going to be doing this all together, so it's going to be so sweet.
So,
guys, I'm ready to go. So without further ado, let's do this.
昭和基地も民間に移譲されたことで、そういった機会も増えると思います。
今後も活動は続けていく予定ですか？
もちろんです。民間になってもこれまで同様、観測隊を派遣して観測を続け。多くの人に南極の素晴らしさを伝えられたらと思っています。
テスト行くぞ
A test?
しらせさんのためにやってるんですけど。行くぞせーのジャンピーというわけで、なんとフリーマーケットに一緒に
Yuzuki's so good at this!
しらせちゃんよろしくはい女子高生観測
High school girl!
こ
Yes!
ちらは
Go to Shirase!
キャッチーでウィットでセンセーショナルなリポートで皆様を南極までご案内
I feel so much sympathy for her. Just
they should just have Hinata do it.
台をよこせって言うから書いたのにそれにしても大きいよね
Yes.
やっとここがスタート地点よ
Yes.
Starting line.
Yep.
Halfway through the
部屋がたく
series.
さんだから、号室ちゃんと覚えるのよかなえさんさっきの荷物は結局すぐ行くからちょっと待ってて4人部屋なんだ、楽しそうでしょ喧嘩しそう
There will be fights here. Yep.
前向きに考えろよ
Trying to be
し
optimistic.
そうだけど
And those are the two that are like, there will definitely be
ロッカー
fights.
と机もあるからそれぞれどこにするか決めて歓迎会は明日だからそれまではーい今行く私たち
Oh, someone's gonna trip.
踏まないのがルールよ言っとくけどここからは大人として扱うからね自分たちで考えなさいお前なその姿見られたら間違いなく降ろされるどっちから来たんだっけ
Did Kamari point in two different directions?
Yep.
はいスタート
Don't drop the camera.
結構高いですねあれゆずきちゃんもしかして高所恐怖症マジなんで嬉しそうな
Why does that make you so happy?
普通に死にます
I'd like to die.
こっち行きましょうこっちアドリブでなんとかするのがリポートだろ
Yes.
That's right.
はい撮りまーす
あんな古いの本当に動くんですかね。一応大丈夫とは言ってましたけど。この感じだと下も人数足りてないですね。後で手伝いに行きますか。ですね。貧乏暇なし。
観測船にいますであっちに雪上車3年ぶりの民間の観測船なんですけど今回の目的を教えてください
We finally decided, maybe Shirase isn't cut out for it.
Yeah.
第1話越冬隊も引き上げ、
She's
約
got
3年
stuck
放
to
置され
her
ていた昭和
hair.
基地を 通常通り運用できるように復旧するのが主な目的です。
Okay.
ありがとうございました。
She doesn't look very optimistic though.
その昭和基地に私たちもこの後お邪魔することになっています。お楽しみに。
なぜこれができない？
あの子はプロでしょ。
あの部屋、タカ子が使っていた部屋だから。
Oh.
Oh, her mom?
Yeah.
なんかあった？ない。いたずら書きもこっちにも何もないですね。
まあ同じ部屋って言っても備品とかは取り替えられているかもだしな。
そうね。おーい。あ、由美子さん。到着早々悪いんだけど、今少し時間ある？
This stuff's heavy.
人手が足りなくて。
で、船内の食事用か？
わかりませんけど、どうしたの？あ、いえ、今から買うものなのかなって。
だよな。なんというか何トンもの食料をコンテナでドドーンってイメージだったけど。
そりゃいくらでもありますよ。資金不足、隊員不足、計画そのものが無謀。そもそも新基地も新観測船もあるのに二重に行く意味はない。
だよな。
切りますよ。使い捨てシムなんで容量ないですし。
どうしたの？つかぬことをお尋ねするのですが。
Right.
南極に本当に行けるのか？
はい。
当たり前でしょ。だって南極はどこにも逃げない。
そういうのいいんで。
Sparrows, yeah.
民間ゆえにカットしたものだってあるしね。やっぱり。でも前にも言った通り、行かないということはありえない。必要な準備はしてきたし、安全面だってこれ以上ないってくらい気を使っている。それに何よりこの船の隊員は絶対行くって強く思っているから。どうして行くんですか？さあね、まあ強いて言えば今回は空を見るためかな。本心のようにも見えるし、何か隠してるようにも見える。隠してますよ絶対。そうかな。言ってたじゃないですか、強い思いがあるって。何かすごい理由があるんです。情報収集です。どっちから行く？気が合うな私ら。
Yes.
そんな行ってこいって言ったのはユウくんでしょ。ユウくんに会いたいに決まってるでしょ。そもそも今回の観測隊うまくいくかわかんないんだし、だから愛してるって大好きな皆さんも言ってるでしょ。
俺ら飲みに行くけど。だ
からなんでそういう話になるの？愛してるだけじゃ足りないの？
That's rough.
そうか、半袖もあと2日か。俺は計画そのものに無理があると思うんだよな。
それは個人の見解ですね。実際の計画はまだまだ先のことなんですから現段階でとやかく言うべきではないかと。
さすがユミちゃん。
お前もうベロベロだな。
お持ち帰ります？
しねえよ。狭い世界でそういうことすると後々面倒なの。
このくせ53
は？どうした？
覆面女子高。
High school girls in masks.
どこにいるの？
もしかして。
南極人間。すごい。タイミングバッチリ。
Perfect timing.
もし悪いことだったらどうするんです？知らないうちに協力させられたりして。執行塗料ですね。
しらせ、寝てみ。
It's like you're looking at the stars.
Well, the same stars that your mother looked at as well.
Oh, yeah.
かもな。
The sky.
まあ強いて言えば
See?
今回
Yep,
は
yep,
空を見るためかな。
Yeah.
yep.
覗いてみる？民間で？
そうなの。国の観測隊は新しい観測船が完成後新基地に派遣され、今の観測船と昭和基地は民間に移乗。もしかしてその民間最初の派遣隊の隊員になれない？やる！あ、いや、
民間の基地は世界でもほとんどなかったから、いろんな計画を出したり
This is their dream.
研究者を集めたり、
新基地と同等の研究ができることが今後民間としてやっていく上では重要だと思うの。
Wow, that's awesome.
宣伝効果にもなるか。
Yeah.
多分どこかで成果を欲しがっていた。そういう気持ちになるのが危険だってことは重々分かっていたのに。
Oh.
どこかで。
Yeah.
Oh, oh, okay. Yeah. Gotcha. That was the.
戻ってきた私たちを待っていたのは厳しい現実だった。イメージの低下を恐れたスポンサーは一つ去り二つ去り、10年かかろうが20年かかろうが構わない。私だけじゃない。3年前一緒に行った隊員のほとんどは今またここにいる。予算は大幅に削られ、保証もほとんどなく、帰ってきてからの生活のあてもないものだっている。それでも集まり、それでもここにいる。
南極行きたいと思わない？
は？南極？なんで？
私さ、私誰も踏んでない雪に足跡つけるの好きなんだよね。
Wow.
は？みんな元気にしてた？入って入って。
Oh, that's so sweet.
行くなよ。
Don't look at the floor.
高校生ですよ。
Come on, look out.
言っときますけど犯罪ですからね。
Wow.
もう一度言います。
Wow.
ですからね。年は分かってる？なんで俺3年前あの時約束したように、あの時のメンバーは全員帰って
Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
そっと記した夢
Yeah.
言い訳ばかりして
小淵沢知らせです。
Say it.
知らせちゃう。
Yeah. Yep. Good, good.
小さな夢を
キャッチーでウィットで戦争の立派なうちにこの船に乗り込みました。皆さん一緒に南極に行きましょう。
Yeah! Oh! Oh!
All right.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
So,
like this episode felt like kind of a very just kind of simple episode of them just getting on the boat and let's get through the plot of how does this whole thing gonna look like, and they went through some goofy things here and there, but the sudden like context for Shirase's mom, the whole emotional reason for why these people are making this journey despite it being a very dicey expedition.
And this was something where like in a lot of ways this was a setup episode, right?
Right.
But I would say it was also very necessary because with something that's this important to these characters, right? Because even though it's like, oh my gosh, they're going to Antarctica and stuff, I could see a lesser story doing something where they basically forget how big of a deal this is because it's still something that is encapsulated within reality, right? It's like, going to Antarctica or whatever, right? Whereas for these characters, no, this is
them going to the moon.
Huge. This is them going to the moon. This is something that their whole lives revolve around, right?
Exactly.
The girl that was basically having to deal with her boyfriend breaking up with her
because she was going on a long expedition.
Because she was going on a long expedition. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, wow, okay, yeah.
People make sacrifices in order to be here.
Exactly.
And it's not just the girls.
Right.
And it's not just that the girls have made their sacrifices and now it's like, yay, everything's just wonderful.
No, there's
and
still sacrifices to be made.
Continuing ones.
Exactly. The fact that they were so nervous about it, they're like, okay, we've gotten this far, but wait, is this going to be okay? Are we still going to actually go? I think like stage fright basically is what I was
essentially like stage fright. There's a lot of like big events in people's lives where like right at the last second they'll get like kind of really the shakes and the lot of nervousness and
scary.
Stuff. Change is very scary, and a lot of times we are subject to patterns based around our environment. So when we familiarize ourselves with an environment, and we get comfortable there, it's easy to remain in a calm, peaceful, stressless state. But when you have an environment that you have no grid for, your body gives you these chemical reaction that's like, what if everything goes wrong?
Exactly.
Fear,
well, and
nervousness, survive.
Here's another way to think about it. Survive, right? In a lot of ways, that drive for survival is a very real thing, because they know, in a lot of ways, they're never coming back from Antarctica. Because not that they'll have to worry about dying, although that is a real thing. But the fact that they're going to be changed by this trip, because this is something that's so far outside their comfort zones. Doing all the prep work and stuff, that was great. And that was pushing them outside their comfort zones. But this is where rubber meets road, right? And the idea that when they come back, they are going to be different people. You know, they will not be looking at the world the same way. So, you know.
It
puts
the whole thing in context very much so for the amount of character development that they've come through thus far as people. It's like, oh my gosh, we are just getting started. And they said, oh, we are at the finish line finally. And I'm like, I mean, the starting line finally. And I'm like, oh, wow, that was pretty meta.
It's not at all like winking at
the audience. You know?
Hey, you thought this was over? You thought you were, getting towards the finale? No,
it's just getting started. The part about them essentially going through kind of the slice of life thing of like, oh no, it's going to be all four of us in a room. There will be fights. Oh no, this is going to be bad. I was like, this is why A Place for the Universe is almost perfect, is that they handle these character interaction dynamics so well and in such a realistic way that these girls feel like real characters.
And especially one of the things that also really stood out, like, I don't bounce off you, but when what's her name? I can't remember her name. When she was showing them around everything, right?
Kane?
Yeah, Kane. And they're all being like, oh wow, whoa, all this stuff, it's so cool. But she's telling him like, oh yeah, don't step on this thing in the doorway. Don't do these things. The drawers have the locks on them so that they don't slide around when the ship turns and stuff. Things like that are details that you wouldn't really think about unless you've either done something like that or you've done a lot of research.
That's true.
And that's one of those things that, like, I know I don't really like researching for stories that much. So something like this, I can appreciate it a lot because a lot of work went into getting all those tiny little details that help make the setting feel real.
I really appreciate those little things as well. I know that it's not easy to just write them in. You have to actually know what you're doing in that regard. I liked that they said, all right, we're treating like adults now. You got to figure everything else out. Like, we're moving and grooving. We've got things to do. Having that in context, though, with the fact that they're in a coming of age story and they are in a society that wouldn't treat them as adults for more than a few years.
Right.
One of the things that kind of harkens back to is just when you're in that stage of transition as a teenager, you are a mutant child between child and adult,
Right.
The thing is, you're both and you're neither. So it's really weird. But one of the things that's really empowering is when someone treats you like an adult before you technically are an adult. Because it puts the ball in your court, essentially, to act like an adult.
Yeah, and it's scary.
It's scary. It's hard, and it's not necessarily possible, really. But just doing that conditions you to be one that takes ownership over a lot of things that would be, easily excused a while back of being like, oh, they're just a kid. Like, because no excuses now. Because
since we don't like change, a lot of times we kind of have to be put into that position where we're forced to change because then we'll actually be like, okay, well, I guess I have to do this and I'll see how it goes.
Right.
And a lot of times, while it might be tough at the beginning, you find out, oh, this isn't as bad as I thought.
Right. I love, that's a great way to put it. Yeah, because when they're thinking about how, oh no, this whole thing is going to go wrong, there's all these people that, don't want to go and things might not work out.
Right.
They're saying that, oh my gosh, it's not going to work out because, it might not work out, but they're still going.
Exactly.
Now with these girls, they're like, oh my gosh, if it's not going to work out, maybe
what are we doing here? Like,
it's showing that their resolve of this whole thing is still dictated a lot by their environment.
Yes.
Because they have each other, the girls, they are technically a part of each other's environment. So
yes,
as long as the group is flustered and afraid and all those other things, then everything can get
exactly. Whereas
stuff,
because there's both sides of the coin. There's the fact that the 4 girls, they were not all of them were scared at the beginning that they wouldn't be able to go, but then when some of them started to get scared, it sort of took the group over.
Right.
On the flip side, you have the group of the people that are going on the expedition that have done this before, right? And they're like, no, this is all good. Yeah, there's those things that we worry about, but we're still going. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Yep. It'll all turn out in the end. Even though we don't have all the shopping lists figured out, it's not some crate of so many tons of food, and supplies just getting dropped in. I'll figure it out. Yeah. World goes on.
It's something where when you are in a place of fear, generally you want to do less action.
Right.
You want to kind of wait and freeze, stand still and stuff. But in their cases and stuff like that, by them being thrust into basically the role as an adult on this expedition, it's like, no, you have to be proactive. You have to take charge of your own situation, do your part, and not wait for someone else to come in and tell you what to do.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a very, very empowering thing if you're in the right mindset to be told that we're going to treat you that way.
Yeah.
In almost a bit of a threatening way, because at least for me,
it's a promise.
It's a challenge also. It's okay. So I have to give them
rise to the occasion.
I have to rise to the occasion. Yeah, exactly. So I just love that. That's fantastic. Oh man, but I did not fully clue in. I just got to talk about that. I can't tell if it's a mistake on the show's part or me, because it was so confusing how we were jumping back in time, and yet I understood when they grade things out a little bit, like they did that kind of faded color thing.
Sure,
I was like, okay, that's a flashback, but then they had other times where, because the look of the characters isn't always as dramatically shifted in terms of age and stuff, I wasn't able to tell when they were younger or not. But then when I saw the new character, the mom, we hadn't seen her before. Right. That's the thing that I was like, wait, should they maybe have shown her before this?
Yeah,
because
they
of warm us
they
up
showed
to
a
her?
lot of new characters in this episode.
They did.
Like
That's
a
true.
lot. So I wasn't sure whether it's like, okay, maybe this is just them showing of what it's like on their end. You know, while the girls are worrying, are we going to be able to go? Here's the things that the adults are worrying about.
Right.
You know?
We had the context in that she was talking to Shirase, I believe it was, at the telescope. The captain, not the captain, the expedition leader. She was basically saying, I'm going to tell you, some things about all this.
That's right.
But she didn't, I don't think, made it specifically clear that this was things from a while back. But either way, once that stuff started happening, I didn't even have time really to get
and then
emotional about it.
And then it's there.
It's just there, and then it's over. And I'm like,
and it's just
gosh.
Oh, wow.
So let's see if we have this down, bounce off our observations off each other. So they were one of the first, or the first, civilian expedition. The past group was one of the first civilian expeditions, fully funded and owned by civilians, not the government and stuff.
Right.
So they're thinking, what are we going to do while we're there? What's the best thing we can do as civilians? And they're going to go and get research through the observatory that's there, right?
Yeah, and I'm not sure whether they were they were just going to be researching at the observatory. Yeah, so it wasn't that they were going to be setting up an observatory. I don't think.
No,
it was just
there's no way they're building or setting up one really. If anything, it's like, well, the observatory's there. Why don't we use that? And it's like, well, maybe the observatory is there, but it's not really in big a function.
Well,
right,
yeah, they mentioned that it wasn't as good as the as the other one, but they were like, hey, well, since it's a civilian expedition, that's the best thing we can do. Yeah.
So they go to do it. They get into the snowcat. Is it called a snowcat?
Yeah.
Okay. And they've mentioned in the past that the snowcat that is there is kind of a relic.
Yes.
It's not a good snowcat.
Right.
So I wonder if that's tied at all as to why she was outside the snowcat.
Well, I mean, possibly, but it seemed more like something where it was like she was the most passionate one out of all of them. So she
definitely was.
So she basically stayed out maybe a little bit later than they should have, and maybe since this was 3 years ago and they hadn't had anything really bad happening, maybe they weren't being as strict with all those little details, like the name card, flipping it to red and things like that.
Who knows? The main thing that we know now is that they watched her go. It's not a lost thing. Like, she is not missing out there.
Well, I mean, by now she'd be dead.
She'd be dead.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is that they know how she.
Sure, yeah. The fact that they were shouting her name at the window, that could have just been something of like realizing, oh, she's not in yet. Wait, where is she? Oh no, she's out there, and then they shout at the window. Or it could be something where it's like,
but a lot of
she goes out for some reason. They're like, no.
But a lot of the mystery about it, in my mind, is cleared up because we now have the girls who were with Shirase's mom in the snowcat. Shirase's mom not inside the snowcat. They know she's not inside the snowcat, and they can't save her,
right,
for whatever reason. So
a part of me wonders whether were they in the snowcat or were they at the actual outpost?
No, they were in I believe
they were in the snowcat.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looked like it, yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, it was dark, so...
I mean, it doesn't really matter either way.
It doesn't really matter.
They're in a place of shelter, and Shirase's mom, Takako, was not.
Yeah. So, she either succumbed to the elements, or... If they go for the mother of all plot twists...
If they go for the thing of, like, I've been waiting for 3 years...
In the observatory, no way. There's no way. But... I just want to say that there is still enough mystery around this that, that
they can explore it more when they
can
get
explore
to
it more
Antarctica.
when they're actually in Antarctica.
Even without doing any plot twists or anything, they can basically provide more context and clarity about what happened.
Yep.
Not just from the standpoint of transmitting information, but also the standpoint of Shirase dealing with it.
Yes.
Because.
Yeah. Yep. Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay, so cute things with the girls. I loved the worthless tag put on Shirase at the little fake recorded interview. It wasn't a fake interview, but it's part of their video
recorded thing that
documentary
they're gonna
thing.
post about it. Yeah.
Right. So
yeah,
that
it's
was
like
fantastic.
why did they keep trying to have her do the thing? I mean, I get that she was the one that made it happen and stuff, but like they really should have just had to be Yuzuki and Hinata.
Dang it! I'm trying to sneeze and I can't.
Doesn't that suck? Oh, wait, here we go.
All right, it goes.
But just one.
Anyway.
Do you need a second?
No, I'm like trying to keep this going here.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that part was fantastic. I love how... Okay, now, this is something that I don't think you or I either did when we first were getting on camera here for the channel. But I recognize the energy in her voice as being a very specific type of energy of like a different type of nervous energy. So Shirase, when she's nervous and on camera, she's embarrassed. Her
beet red. Yeah,
she's beet red and everything. Her cheeks are flushed. But if you listen to the way her voice sounds, it gets all like raspy and we're going to Antarctica and these are the things to say. And what it is it's basically the what I interpret it as. Is that Shirase in a lot of ways is a take charge person.
Right. So she's trying to power her way through her nervousness.
She's trying to power her way through her nervousness. Yeah, exactly.
Which
with
she
sheer willpower.
Which she ended up doing at the end of the episode.
Exactly.
That was great. That was awesome because I was thinking she was just going to say, I'm going there to find my mother. And that would have just been like, But she ended up doing the other thing, which had more of like a positive, basically feeling to it.
Oh, it was so sweet.
Which was awesome, and everyone cheered for her.
I'm so glad you caught on to it too, because I was so into the idea that her whole journey has been about powering through with will.
Yeah.
Just go, willpower,
Yep.
Alone. At the end of this episode, she doesn't have enough willpower to talk on the microphone and give the thing. A friend, someone else,
gives her that
push.
Well,
it's just enough to tip her over the edge, and she's able to summon up the willpower to.
And here's the other thing: it's not just that she had summoned the willpower to, say it out loud and declare it. It was the fact that the way she declared it that was kind of like she was basically asking for help from the other people.
Oh,
Lend me your
yes.
energy.
Yes.
Let's all go to Antarctica together.
Right.
Right? And then
Well-
they cheer. You know, I mean,
well,
she cheered too, and, you know...
she's a
did
take
the
charge
fist bump.
person. In
Yes.
another way, she's also taking charge over the crowd, so she's not scared of them, maybe.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely.
that's a very
But
that's a very common public speaking thing, is you try to demand some kind of response from
Right.
the crowd so that you don't feel intimidated by them.
Right.
Yeah.
But I loved that they did that, especially since she was constantly looking down, and it's like, no, this is your moment. She was probably staring at her feet, as you know, that's just what I imagine. So, you know, focused on
people.
herself,
Yeah.
right, rather than focused on what's all out there.
Yep.
So that was really cool.
Yeah, there were some really cool Shirase moments in that. I liked that Hinata, the one with all the boundless energy, is the one writing the scripts, being like all like technical in the background and stuff, which just in terms of typical anime tropes and stuff,
That's not what you would expect.
that's not what you would expect.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Hinata seems to be actually the most capable one of them all
Right,
there,
because-
despite also being the one that wears the mask of being like positive and
Right.
energetic for the sake of others.
Well, she also seems like the smartest one there.
She's not definitively the oldest,
No.
but yes, she does seem more worldly. Like she has a job.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
She's prepping for college.
prepping
you
for
know,
college like way in advance.
you know,
and
on
stuff.
her own kind of thing, and she
Yeah.
aced the mock exam.
Right. So yeah,
Yeah.
she is a little bit of a little bit of a like a smart.
Right. She channels her high energy into, you know, figuring stuff out.
Right, into just getting stuff done.
Yeah. I really
thought
liked
was really
that
cool.
Yuzuki was the one that was the most suspicious, because in her line of work,
Oh,
especially with
sure.
her mom, she probably has to deal with basically people that are saying one thing and meaning
another,
you know? So the fact that she was the one that was like, they're not being honest here.
Right, she was
you know?
like, they're determined. I caught that
Yeah,
verbiage
yeah.
there. That's a
Uh-huh.
slip up right
Right,
there.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know, what they wouldn't say that if there wasn't some big problem, you know.
Right, and the problem is that their desire is overcoming their practical like natures. So like the practical nature is like their pragmatic side of the people on this trip is like, hey, this is gonna be tough.
to put together, yeah.
This is gonna be really difficult. But we made a promise.
Right.
We're doing this, and the
Yep.
emotion that
Uh-huh.
they have, like them getting drunk, or the poor girl, like trying to convince her
yeah.
her significant
boyfriend,
other, like I don't know what name that is, so boy, girlfriend, whatever. But the point is, like, she's trying to convince him, like, isn't it enough that I just love you? I'm going on the trip. I'm like,
and
we
they're
don't
and
even
they're
know
saying,
this girl,
right?
and I'm
And
like,
her friends are saying like, "Don't you want to come drink with us?" And she's just waving them off, you know. And of course then of course the four girls are listening in on this, and they're just like, "Oh my God, this is awful!" Like
they think like
this is what happens all the time to everybody, you know.
Yeah, I loved. Was it Hinata and Kimari who timed the cell phone light?
yeah.
With the scary thing.
Uh-huh.
Antarctica people. Nani, you know, and they're like, great timing.
And then the whole thing of the who was it? The person that was announcing everything. I can't remember her name.
Kane?
Kane, yeah. Kane being like, "Now these girls are not of legal age. I'm looking at you."
I was like, oh, we have to bring that up.
Well, no, but it's probably just because of it's one of those things that you wonder. It's like, okay, if I don't know how long these expeditions last, right? But the people there all look to be in their like 20s to early 30s.
I gotcha.
So,
yeah,
you know,
so some of them are still really horny. You know?
So there's probably some of that going on the trip.
But literally, if they wanted to do introductions, like tell us your name, your age, and just something about yourself, and they could have just casually thrown the age out there, and they don't have to make this big joke about it. They're not legal. Like,
No.
let me repeat, they're not legal.
No, but I think it was just one of those things that was basically a funny way to show that these people are civilians. They are not
right.
like professionals. They've
That's
done this
true.
before, right? And they're experienced with this, but they're not like the we're on a
Protocol.
mission. Yeah, protocol.
They're
information.
Right,
Like,
they're going and getting drunk before the trip and everything
exactly.
like that.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, they're people.
Yeah.
I think also it might be a little bit of a meta narrative is that they're like looking at the audience and be like, don't lewd them.
Oh, sure.
I don't care.
Okay.
Like, I've had enough of you guys looting like
Well, I thought you were going to say
Underage
something
characters.
completely different. I thought you were going to say that it was a meta way of them basically looking at the audience and saying, all these NPCs, all these side characters that you don't know the name of, these are all people. Even if you don't end up learning their names, they are all
they did
people.
that. They did that with the phone call. With
Yeah.
them
But this
going
was just
around and
another
stuff like
way
that.
to basically do that, not just for like specific individuals.
Well, they can
but
only
just
do it with so many.
No, I know, but this was a way to basically have it be a blanket statement for the entire crowd. They had a lot of things where it was saying, we
Sure.
all made promises 3 years ago and things like that.
Right, but they're still just NPCs.
Oh, yeah, no, I totally get it.
It's a way you can say that, but it doesn't really like mean anything. Like
Well, I would say it totally means
it
something.
means
because-
something, but it won't actually change anything story wise. Like the ones that they invested in the time, they're the ones that have the higher likelihood of actually meaning
Yes.
something story wise.
Absolutely, but I would say that's the exact same thing as them saying like, oh, don't step on that part in the doorway or whatever, or, you know, the doors are locked. It's like, that doesn't mean anything for the story, but it adds to the overall ambiance of the fact that these are people and they're all going on a journey.
Yeah.
So that's...
I was just saying it's like it's not a necessary thing.
No.
I think it's a very cool thing, like you said. It's just like it's a thing. In a lot of ways, it's effective in that it doesn't actually mean anything with regards to what it's directly referring to. Like you said, it communicates the feeling that the overall crew there are all in this together. We don't care about any of them individually.
Exactly, yeah.
But that's the thing. It's like there are probably ways that they could have made us care about some of them even more so individually.
Like what they did with the girl that was dealing with the breakup over the phone.
But even then, they didn't give us names of them.
Nope.
They did. They did. There was
yeah.
the one girl with the glasses and the checklist or something.
Right, yeah. And
it's like Yume or something like that.
Yeah, something
whatever.
like that.
But yeah, I love how this show ropes you in with the emotions at the end of every episode, because they're reminding you so much so about how
what
this
show's
is a
all about.
dream of these characters who are wanting to go somewhere that's, you know, outside of the realm of possibility in their minds, you know, as of maybe a year ago.
This is not some small thing that they're doing.
Right, and it's the culminated efforts and will and desire of multiple people, not just one person. Shirase might be the one that kind of has the most of a plot anchor in the story. And yes, I did make a boat joke here. So specifically though, by bringing her little mini arc in this episode into her arc in the whole show into a little microcosm within this one episode, I just thought was brilliant writing. So
nice.
Yeah. And again, another episode that I think could have been one of the weaker ones, but actually ended up being very good because of very specific things that they did.
Exactly. Yeah. This is how you do setup episodes. You know.
Yeah, this is definitely how you do setup episodes, because you kind of have to have them.
Right. Yeah.
You'd wish you didn't. Like
you need to have setup moments at the very least, and oftentimes that you need to spend a fair amount of time to do that.
So it can take an episode. You know.
Exactly.
But yeah. This story with these girls, it just resonates with me really in a really strong way. So I'm looking forward to more of it, guys.
Me too.
Love this show so much. Yeah, and guys, if you want to watch that next episode's reaction right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length reactions there. And all this comes with Discord access.
Pretty cool.
So you can chat with us about how amazing these girls are and, like, all that jazz. And if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.